chapter 1 and verse 17. It says, Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the faces of man, for the judgment is of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it to me, and I will hear it. I'd like to begin this lesson by giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors be unto the apostles who rule well at Great Millstone. Salutation to you, brethren, who push this word in sincerity and in truth. To the sisters who listen in sincerity, we say shalom. And I want to do this quick lesson on judgment. Not only judgment, because anybody could judge, but righteous judgment. Not respecting persons in judgment when it comes to laying down the hammer, as a judge. Within this shoot, you will it will have or you will say certain situations you will have to judge. You will have to judge situations within this truth. And being a judge, you can't just lay down judgment. You have to be able to hear both sides of a story. And I'll bring that perfect example. In the book of I'm gonna see if I can find a scripture here. The book of 1 Kings chapter 3 and I will start from verse 15. I'll start from verse 14. And if thou wilt walk in my ways, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as my father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days. And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream, and it came to Jerusalem. And he came to Jerusalem and stood before the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, and offered a burnt offering, and offered peace offering, and made a feast to all his servants. Then came there 2 women that were harlots unto the king, and stood before him. And the one woman said to my lord, and Salak, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass the 3rd day after that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also. And we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we 2 in the house. And this woman's child died in the night, because she overlaid it. I'm going to pause that. Right, I didn't quite understand what she mean by overlaid. It just means to roll on top, or she lied down on the child. Tawada. Right, it says, verse 20, and she arose at night, and took my son from beside me, while thine handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I arose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I had considered it in the morning, behold, it was not my son, which I did bear. And and the other woman said, Nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is my son. And this said, No, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Then said the king, the one said, This is my son that liveth, and thy son is the dead. And the other said, Nay, but thy son is the dead, and my son is the living. And the king said, Bring me a sword. And they brought him a sword before the king. And the king said, divide the living child in two, and give half to the one and half to the other. And speak the woman whose the living child was unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son. And she said, O my lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, let it be neither mine nor thine, but divide it. Then the king answered and said, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. And all Israel heard the judgment which the king judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of Yahweh was with him to do judgment. And this is how a judge. You know, you hear two sides of the matter, and you analyze. Through the Spirit of the Lord, you know, you will get the revelation as King Solomon did. You know, you just can't be a judge or make rational decisions, and just because you have the authority to, you know what I mean, understand certain situations and then make a proper judgment of it. You know, because the scripture says a spiritual man judgeth all things, but yet is judged by no man. You know, you have to be careful on certain judgment. You know, we laying down as judges. You know, by all means. This lesson will be short. It ain't gonna be long, drawn out. This I think is Jeremiah. I had it line up here, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so like it wasn't Jeremiah, it was the book of John. John chapter 7 and verses 24. That's now, I will start from verse 20. It says, the people answered and that's no. I just want to get to the point, you know, really and truly. So let's start from 20. I just want to get to the point really. It's the book of chapter 20, chapter 7 and verses 20, starting from 20. It says, and the people answered and said, thou hast a devil who goeth about to kill thee. Yahushua answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye all marvel. Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of Yahweh, but of my Father, which is Yahweh. And ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man. If a man on the Sabbath day receive circumcision, that the law of Moses should not be broken, are ye angry at me, because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? Judge not according to appearance, but judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Because the Pharisees, they wasn't judging right, because although the Sabbath, yes, the Sabbath is a day of rest, you know, but it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath, you know. That is just an instance, you know. So but basically, you know, judgment is judgment. We all know judgment is judgment. But you have to be able to, when you're a judge, not because in the judgment seat you will lay down the hammer, you know what I mean? You will lay down a harshness, you know what I mean? Just, you know, judge righteously, judge aright, you know what I mean? And let the judgment stand on the board, you know, go down on the board, you know. When I say go on the board, let judgment be for everyone. Equal judgment, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you're casting a judgment, you know, we working for the same penny, each and every man, from apostle to come right down, you know. So basically, it is not respecting persons then, So it lead back to the first scripture that I brought. You know, not respecting persons. You don't have respect of persons when it comes to judgment. You know what I mean? Let me see. I'm going to tell us. Because when you have a shy come back, it ain't no respect of person. You know, it wouldn't have no respect of persons. The Lord going and judge you. And He going and judge you harsh. You know? And He going and judge you according to your works. Well, I basically the lesson there, you know. Hopefully the lesson was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom to the hopefully like.